The Federal Civil Service in Canada used to be one of the most admired civil services in the world. The best graduates, people out of business, went to Ottawa to serve the country. Now, not so. Virtually everybody in Canada knows that the federal government is incompetent. There are still hardworking people there, but not nearly what it used to be. Jay Goldberg is with the Canadian Taxpayers Federation. He joins me right now because I want to put the question to you about the Federal Civil Service. It used to be okay paid, but now you're talking about huge bonuses.
Huge bonuses. We've dug into the numbers. There's been $1.3 billion worth of bonuses since 2015 when Justin Trudeau became Prime Minister. $1.3 billion. And the more important number as well is they're meeting less than half of their performance targets, and they're getting 90% of them are getting bonuses.
Well, how can that happen? Really, so you have these targets, you didn't do that well this year, oh, here's another $20,000 and I hope you do better next year?
Well, and they're not, aggressive targets that just can't be met. These are realistic targets that the civil service is setting, and there you go.
There used to be something called Treasury Board when I was in Ottawa. It was a very, very tough, cost-restrictive board. You couldn't get anything through there unless you had a very good case for it. Have all the rules, have all the guidelines just gone by the wayside in Ottawa, or is it people, sort of really, really gaming the system?
Well, it just seems like everything's off the rails. The federal government doesn't seem to have any regard for deficits, any regard for debt, any regard for how much money is being spent on people that work for the government instead of keeping in taxpayers' pockets. And that's the reality we're seeing. Bonuses everywhere. More than 90% of executives are getting bonuses. They're meeting less than half their targets.
There used to be something called whistleblowing. When somebody was in the government and they saw something that was stinky, they would go out publicly and talk about it. I haven't heard many cases of whistleblowers in the last few years. Is that because the federal government is paying them a lot of money and it's just too good to go and blow something up? In other words, you just don't want to embarrass the government because they're paying me.
Well, the average salary is tens and tens of thousands more than the typical Canadian is getting. And so this is a job where you cannot meet your performance targets. You can get a big bonus every year, and you've got job security. So, what does that say to you? And you can work from home in many cases. They're still having conflicts about whether or not to get back to the office.
Well, I understand that. And then the union is saying that if you do work from home, we want the government to pay for your lunch because otherwise it would be paying it. It's insane.
When they were picketing, they had to go in person.
Some did. And then they left.
Yeah, you can't do it virtually, so they had to picket in person, but they want to work virtually.
Jay Goldberg, you can't make this stuff up. Only in Canada. Thank you very much. 3 minutes. This country needs bold and fearless discussion of the issues that are confronting it. And the Trudeau government is censoring the news and paying other news providers. So we need to keep going. Please subscribe and please donate generously. The crew needs to be paid.